And that's the highly anticipated Iron Man 2, which blasted into theaters last night and officially kicked off the summer blockbuster season. Here to review that superhero sequel, plus give us a sneak peek at some of the other May movie releases, our film critics Tony Scott, Michael Phillips, hosts of At the Movies. Good morning, guys. Good to see you both.
Chris.
All right, let's start with that. What did you guys think?
Well, I got to say, I love the first Iron Man. 2 years ago, that was such a nice surprise, and to get that kind of blockbuster in the same summer as The Dark Knight, it spoiled us forever.
Yeah.
You know? And I think the sequel is okay, but disappointing. I liked it a little less than this guy.
Yeah, I liked it not so much because of the action sequences and the big fights with the guys in metal suits, but it's a very funny and very well written movie, and the cast is great. Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Mickey Rourke is a terrific villain.
It's also great too is that that part is actually taken very seriously, so it's not a campy, over-the-top turn. You know, Rourke is a serious actor, believe it or not. So,
and very, very intense, scary.
What about the relationship between Tony Stark and Gwyneth Paltrow's? You know?
So that was one of the best things about the first film.
And I think it still works in this one. I mean, they have a great sort of screwball vibe going.
And what are we thinking as far as box office first weekend for this thing?
You know, I mean, maybe somewhere in the north of 75 or 100 million, probably. I think people love the goodwill from the first film is so big that it's just going to take a rest.
And there's a lot of sort of catch up. I mean, the second sequel often does better than the first one because people have come along, seen it on DVD, kids have discovered it, so it's going to be quite big.
So much buzz, but the reviews are so-so.
Next.
All right, let's talk about Robin Hood right now, and this is Russell Crowe. Looks to me like Gladiator, only different plot.
Right. A few years later, a different era altogether. I liked it more than this man, but I think it's less of a dessert and more of a meal. It's 2.5 hours. It's uneven. But I think once you get the first 45 minutes out of the way, it becomes a pretty compelling story.
Well, and Russell Crowe is good. I mean, he's good at this kind of thing. He's good at taking these sort of, angry, macho, serious guys and giving them a little bit of twist, a little twinkle, a little mischief. Kate Blanchett is pretty good. It does feel a little bit like a retread, as you say, of Gladiator.
Let's talk about Shrek Forever After. I mean, these always do well. This one's now in 3D. I mean, do they usually do that? I mean, if it's like, okay, we want to do another sequel, let's just put it in 3D and throw it out.
Well,
this is where things are going right now.
Especially in animation.
I mean, I think this segment is in 3D, is it not, right now? No, we're not. But I mean, we have not seen Shrek yet. We haven't seen things like Sex and the City 2, for example.
I want to talk to you about that, Sex and the City 2. They're now having sex overseas, apparently.
I've heard they have more of it overseas, actually.
But this is another movie where there's just so much buzz. And the first one did do well. Are you expecting the same from the sequel?
I think so. Although it may be just a little past its prime. I mean, it's now I think what 10 years since the TV series was really kind of the hot ticket. But people like these characters, like these actresses, and I think people just especially women go to just have a good time and visit.
And here's what I'm hoping for the sequel. I hope that sequel has more of the comic spirit of the TV series, which I enjoyed a lot. And the film was not bad, the first film, but it was more of a soap opera, more serious, and we'll see how the balance is in this sequel.
Let's talk about Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. This is a video game, hugely popular. This is Jake Gyllenhaal. It comes to this movie, looks like he's been in prison with this physique.
Right. Well, this is kind of a cold start franchise. I mean, certainly they're hoping to get a string of films out of this. I don't think this is the kind of film that can open big on its own. It actually has to be good. So the burden shifts to the quality of the picture. Unlike Iron Man 2, which I'm not saying it's a lousy film, but people would show no matter what.
Yes, well, it has the brand, it has the franchise, it has the the enormous interest from the first one. It is always a gamble, I think, for a studio to come out, even if it's based on something that's very popular, as in this case the video game, to sort of start it up and get people really excited.
We will have to wait and see. But this weekend is all about Iron Man 2. Michael Phillips, Tony Scott, thank you guys very much.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.